Hey everybody, we're here for a new episode of RLG Cast Reviews. Today we have Johnny Donuts on the channel, and we are going to be talking about Ahsoka, the Star Wars show from the Star Warsing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Subscribe to the channel, like, drop a comment, let us know what you thought about this show, and we'll go right into it. Well, I
Yeah.
guess we could do a little no spoilers. We'll do a
Yeah, we
little,
can do a little no
we'll do
spoiler.
no spoilers. We'll let you know when we're going to go into spoilers.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do
Um,
that.
so can you explain this show for the people out there?
Okay, so basically the premise of this show, it's continuing the storyline from Star Wars Rebels, the animated series, where at the end of that series, Ezra uses the Purgils, which are those space whales, to take himself and Thrawn and all of the Empire to a distant place that nobody knows where they went to because these whales can travel through hyperspace. So the premise of Ahsoka now is Ahsoka rejoining with Sabine and some other ragtag bunch of characters to go and find Ezra and prevent the return of Thrawn.
That was honestly the best explanation we've ever had in the history of doing these reviews. Um,
I'm a big fan of Rebels and Clone Wars, so
I'm not.
yeah.
Two of the most boring things I've ever watched in my life.
This will be
But
an
everyone
interesting
likes
review
it.
then. Yeah.
But I think it's fair because now I get the point of this. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, if you didn't like this animated stuff, or you didn't read the books, or you don't go,
Yeah.
you're not that deep in Star Wars lore. That's what these shows are for. For like myself, the casual Star Wars
Yeah.
fan, where I know enough to have a conversation easily.
Like Ange, I gave her bullet point explanations as to what's going on. This has happened. This is where they are.
So I
Watch.
had two questions, but I'll wait till the
Yeah.
spoiler section because I think that might be spoilers. Um, I really like the way this show was written.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a slow burn, but the storytelling is really good. The character
Yeah.
arcs are really good. There's solid acting. There's great
Like Ray Stevenson,
interactions.
RIP Ray Stevenson, but he turned in such a great performance,
He was so good. Um,
which is sad that this character is not going to continue.
well, they're
So the
saying that,
character may continue, but he is not going to be
yeah,
portraying the
there
character.
was a guy he's in One Piece. I don't
Mm-hmm.
remember his name, and a lot of people online are saying he should to replace him because he looks exactly like Ray Stevenson.
Okay.
Ray Stevenson with a
Ray
sin.
Stevenson. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stevenson. Yeah. But he turned in such a great performance. Everybody turned in a great performance. And they really turned it up for the show. Like it was really good. Lars Mikkelsen, Mad Mikkelsen's brother, like as Thrawn was great. Like
Oh, I thought you were gonna say more.
no, I'm just saying, like, just the way he speaks, like he's the only character returning. So Lars Mikkelsen did the voice of Thrawn in Rebels, and he's the only character returning from that show to voice his character in real life. It just because his voice is like so perfect, so methodical, so soft spoken, but like you fear him just by not, kind of like the way to go back to wrestling. Like, remember how Jake the Snake used to give those promos? They were very slow and very methodical, but you listen to every word he said and you hang on to, and he's very much like that as Thrawn.
Okay, so I just ripped my headphones out. For the people out there that didn't watch it, um, I know he's obviously he's like a remnant of the Empire.
Yes.
Um, does he even know that the Empire ended?
No, he doesn't.
So
Because
is he like? I need to know this for like explanation. Is he
yeah,
on like a high level of? Is he like a Hitler-esque character who is like? Is he gonna care when he comes back, or is he gonna try to take over everything?
he's going to try to take over everything. He will try to take over everything. He was, if you're familiar with Star Wars lore, you had your Emperor, right? The Emperor was the top guy. Vader was not really a person of authority, but he was the Emperor's right hand man
Yeah.
that did all his stuff. Then right below the Emperor, you had Tarkin, Grand Moff Tarkin,
Yeah.
and then below Tarkin would have been Grand Admiral Thrawn, and then all the other sub admirals, and then sub admirals and sub moffs, which Moff Gideon was a step below Thrawn, kind of thing.
Right. Okay. That makes sense. Because like I was thinking in my head, I'm like, he seems like he's really menacing.
He
Like,
is.
is he gonna come back and be like, okay, well, we're not gonna go that deep because we might get into spoilers.
Yeah.
Visually, I thought the show looked really good.
Yeah.
I like that they use a lot more filming in actual places.
Mm-hmm.
Something that take notes, DC and the MCU, like just go outside and film something.
Yeah.
Um,
As the kids like to say, touch grass.
yeah, for real though. Like there's moments where they don't, like when they're driving in those little hover
Yeah.
car things, but it's like you can let that
But I mean,
go.
it's the same technology that they're using in Las Vegas, that sphere.
Yeah, yeah.
It's that type of, so it looks realistic. It doesn't take the immersion out. You know what I mean? They're not using a green screen anymore.
But
So the
now,
immersion,
from all the Star Wars we've watched now because of the shows, I'm starting to notice when they're using that screen.
yes. Yes, absolutely.
Like in the first season of Mando, you couldn't tell.
No.
Now it's like you can see there's like a curvature to everything.
If you're really paying attention for it, yeah, you can see it.
Anyways, hold on. Okay.
But I won't let that take it away from the show.
The fight scenes were fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I think Ahsoka has like established herself as maybe the coolest character that's not the Mando.
In the new Star Wars universe,
Yes,
yeah.
in the new Star Wars universe.
Because nobody out cools Han Solo.
Yeah, Darth Vader.
Cool. Like,
Han Solo's not cool. Han Solo shot first.
yeah, always.
Exactly. But yeah, they're just it's a really good and I think
Yeah.
Rosario Dawson was the perfect casting. And I'm so like there's two things I don't understand. The people online that are complaining about this show and the people that didn't like the casting of Rosario Dawson.
I loved, like, she's the perfect, like, she's at that perfect age to play this character perfectly. Like,
Yeah, she kind of looks
has
facial
that look,
structure
yeah,
like
Ahsoka.
Ahsoka.
Yeah. She even studied the mannerisms and stuff like that. A lot of the people are complaining because they wanted Ashley Eckstein, the girl who did the voice of Ahsoka, to play Ahsoka.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's get someone who doesn't act to be the actor.
Also, the fact that she's like 5'1" and Ahsoka's and Rosario's almost 6 feet tall.
Yeah, and Ahsoka's not short.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's neither here nor there. I just think the show's well paced. Every episode ended with me wanting to know what was going to happen.
Yeah, even the finale ended with me wanting to know what's going to happen next.
Which they're supposedly saying there's going to be a second season.
There is. It's been greenlit unofficially.
You never know with Disney.
Yeah.
Anyways, what would you score this show before we talk spoilers?
I'd give it pretty high. I'd give it about an 8.
Yeah, I think I'd give it an 8 too.
Yeah, I give it about. This is the best Star Wars television I've seen since Mando season 2.
I don't know. I think
Andor was really good.
Andor was really good, but those first 3 or 4 episodes sucked.
Yeah, I think this was also only 8 episodes. They were perfect little bite-sized episodes that you just take in and enjoy.
I agree. Okay, we're gonna talk spoilers now. So if that's all you guys wanted was a score, there's your score. Now we're talking spoilers.
Spoilers.
So I had 2 questions. The only 2 questions, because I only watched the first season of Rebels, and I only made it to the end of season 5, I think, of Clone Wars.
So
I Rebels wasn't that bad. I'm just being an ass, but I really don't like Clone Wars. It's so boring, and there's like no story for the first 3 seasons.
Which is funny because you like all that politicking and because a lot of Clone Wars is that.
It's because there's no like continuity of it. Every episode feels like a completely new episode where they're on a new adventure, and everything you just learned in that episode doesn't matter.
It really, I hate to say it because I hate it when people say that, but season 4 is really when it took its stride. When they did that arc where Ahsoka gets framed and leaves the Jedi Order, that's why Ahsoka is not technically a Jedi. You know, she leaves the Jedi Order and goes her own path. And that kind of started Anakin's descent to the dark side, being disillusioned with the Jedi Council and all that kind of stuff. Not just Padme. Everybody think it's Padme losing that sent Anakin. There's more to it. And Dave Filoni did just such a great job in that Rebel or Clone Wars TV series to show that descent, how Anakin was able to change from this character he was at the end of at the beginning of episode 2 Attack of the Clones, because he had that great scene in Attack of the Clones where he's talking about finding his mother, and I'll say that to no end, that was one of the best scenes he's ever filmed in Star Wars. I killed them, I hate them all. Like there was that's where you saw the passion in Hayden Christensen's voice, because he was not a bad actor. I think he was just poorly directed
And poorly written.
and poorly written. I hate sand. But but the fact that like you saw that slow spiral of Anakin, and like this is all connecting now too, because Mandalore has a lot to do with the Clone Wars as well, and the fight for Mandalore and who is really the ruler of Mandalore kind of thing. And this is all going to connect in Dave Filoni's universe, and eventually they are going to lead to an Heir to the Empire movie.
I'll take it. That's fine with me. So yeah, anyways, 2 questions I had.
Yeah, go ahead.
How did Thrawn know Sabine Wren?
Thrawn has encountered Sabine in Rebels.
Okay,
season 4.
But he talks to her as if they like intimately have known each other for years and have been fighting so many times, when she's only like 20 something and he's like,
no, she's supposed to be in her 30s here.
Either way, that was my question.
But they've had she was actually held prisoner by Thrawn at one point in Rebels. So that's how he knows her so intimately. He knows Sabine, and he knows he doesn't know Ahsoka, but he knows Sabine, and he knows what's her name there, Hera Syndulla. He knows them very, very, and Ezra, because they were like all of season 4 of Rebels faced like that was the whole big bad of the season. The whole story arc was Thrawn. So that's how they know each other so intimately. They were all held prisoner by Thrawn. So that's how he knows them. And it's Thrawn's job. You saw him get me everything you know about Ahsoka. I want to know who her master was, who she trained under. Like he wanted to know. So he's very methodical that way. So that's how he gets to know his enemies. And that's why he's so successful.
Yeah, so I got that answer, but your answer is better. And then it was, how did they get where they are? And why can't they figure out how to get back? They're clearly smart. They clearly have tech. They have ships, but they can't.
They're in another galaxy, so they don't know the star map. They don't know the exact route. It was always the Purgils that took them to there, because that's where they go to die.
That place where they are?
Yes. But after they saw the landmines, they said, I'm out of here, and they took off. So they've always used the Purgils to get to where they are. There's no star map. There's only one race that knows how to get there. And I believe that if you really want to connect like the whole new Star Wars lore to this, in Jedi Fallen Order, Jedi Survivor, there's talks of the Zepho, which are an ancient race. The temple where Thrawn was at is a Zepho temple. So they may find an ancient Zepho there that knows how to get back. Or the only other way I can see them getting back is traversing that world between worlds again.
Yeah, okay.
I'll try to explain the best I can. Like
that was good. No, that makes sense. It's just like they still have. It's not like they were absent of tech, right?
No,
like
it's not that they're absent of tech, but if you don't have the star charts, only the most powerful Jedi can navigate those galaxies, I guess, because they're different galaxies, right? They left the actual Star Wars galaxy. They're in a completely different one. So they don't have any star charts for it. So hyperspace lanes are based on the fact that it's planned routes through these star charts. If there's no planned route, you can hyperspace into an asteroid. You know what I mean? Like,
no, I get it. That makes sense. They should still just do it.
Yeah, just go.
Yeah, okay, that's good.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed how Western feeling it was.
Yeah.
Like it kind of pulled Mando style on that.
Early season Mando, yeah.
It's just well filmed. The writing is really good. There's good dialogue. The conversations that a lot of the people have are so good.
Yeah. Like that the girl who played Sabine, she was like fantastic. And let's not discount the fact that Hayden Christensen returned again. And he was actually really good in this.
He was.
Like that, there was that one episode where he's guiding Ahsoka through that plane. And just like the way he's explaining to her, like he doesn't want Ahsoka to go down the same path he went down. And that's why when she comes out of that, she's like all in white instead of gray. She's now that white Jedi that she needed to be. She officially became a Jedi Knight. That was her trial.
She passed.
Mm-hmm. She chose wisely.
The other girl was really good too. The one that played the apprentice. I can't
Yes,
think of her name.
Ivana Sanko.
That's what it
Sakno.
is.
Yeah, I have them all right in front of you. Yeah, she was really good. But I still can't take away from Ray Stevenson. He was fantastic. Like he was probably the best. Him and Mickelson were the two best actors on this show, I think. But just everything in general too. Even the girl who played Sarah Hindula, what's her name's? That's in real life. That's Ewan McGregor's wife.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
that is. She was. What's her name from Scott Pilgrim?
Oh, Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Yep, that is legit.
Oh, I know who it was. I was just like, I didn't know they were married.
Yeah. So, and like I like the little callbacks. They had C-3PO. It's because they can't get Princess Leia, so they use C-3PO as the messenger. Like, you know what I mean? It's now connecting it's starting to connect all the little threads of all the other Star Wars show. Because this last season of Mando, say what you will about Mando, this wasn't the Mandalorian. This was the Mandalorians.
Yes. And it was more about Bo-Katan than anything else.
Yeah. And
But
it's Dave Filoni basically wanting to bring he's making a live action Star Wars Rebels, which I'm fine with.
yeah,
If it's going to be like this, I'm fine with that.
Rebels had nowhere left to go
No.
because they reached A New Hope.
Yes.
So they had to end it, but now they can continue the story later on, or it's what they're doing.
Exactly. And who knows? Maybe this somehow will tie in with the new Race trilogy.
Yeah, you can only hope, right?
Yeah.
How many years after is Force Awakens? Is it like
I think it's
25?
25 to 30 years after A New Hope or after Yavin.
And this is
After
5
Endor.
years after A New Hope. Or this
9.
is 9.
9 years after Jedi.
9
Or
years
something
after
like that.
Jedi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that. But yeah, it's in that time frame. So it fits in that time frame. Like there's so much they can do before they get to Force Awakens. Like they can explain what happens to Thrawn, they can explain what happens to Grogu, they can explain what happened and explain why they're not in this new trilogy.
Well, I think what we're gonna find out is that Grogu, Ahsoka, Sabine Wren, like all the remaining Jedis. What's that guy's name? The
Which
guy
one?
Jedi that they find,
Ezra Bridger.
Ezra Bridger. They're all gonna be in hiding. So that's why when the whole thing happens with the New Empire or the Republic, whatever they're called, what were they
Yeah.
called?
The First Order.
First Order. And Ray and everyone's there. The reason they don't know because they've been in hiding this whole time. They're just like,
What if they're back on that planet and they don't know how to get back? And they don't come back until after.
that's a good idea.
Right?
How are you going to write 3 seasons or 2 seasons even plus of a show where people are just stuck on this planet?
Well, I mean, the thing too, I was thinking about too, unless what they do is they do what they did with Mothma. Mon Mothma, they recast her, and the actress who plays Mothma, she's really, really good. And she was a recast. You already have a recast Han Solo from Solo. Recast Luke and Leia. Just recast them. I'll be happy if you get a proper actor. I don't care if it doesn't look like them, as long as they can act the part. I don't care about a recast. Do a recast and tell a really good cohesive story.
Yeah, okay. I think I wouldn't be upset either.
Yeah. Like, I mean, Sebastian Stan, he would be a perfect Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing.
But I think he'd be good as like the actor who plays Winter Soldier, Sebastian Stan. He'd be a good Luke.
He would. He looks like Luke.
Yeah. So, but I don't know. I mean, what else did you want to talk about? Like, I mean, any other threads that you need explained? Like,
no, because that's what I was saying for a show that people kept saying you have to see these shows or you're not gonna get it. It's like, no, you didn't at all. As long as
I just explained to you in one video.
As long as you know the basics of what's happening now in the Mando timeline, that's all you need to know.
Yeah, it's its own story. You can go back if you want to find out some of the lore, but other than that, like, you don't really need to. I think
the little bits of Boba Fett and then what happens in Mando tell you basically what you need to know.
They do enough recap in those shows, absolutely.
That's it.
And whatever else you need, just tune to this channel, and I'll be happy to tell you.
Tune in here. He's here. That's what he does.
Exactly.
We don't pay him much. We pay him in bananas.
Hey, I'll take it. High in potassium.
They're expensive.
They are.
Anyways, that's all I have. Do you have anything else?
Nope, just organic bananas
Just organic bananas. All right. And no dairy.
and no dairy.
All right, guys.
All
Thank
right,
you for watching.
I'm
Let us
good.
know what you think. Go check out his channel, okay? Go check it. Do wrestling and stuff.
JohnnyDonuts 777.
Peace out.